Welcome to the world of 1914, a prosperous era filled with great countries such as the Austro-Hungarian Empire, led by this absolutely beautiful man. I mean, look at those eyes. Franz Ferdinand decided to go on a trip in an open-top car to the highly separatist regions of southern Austro-Hungary, and that went exactly how you'd expect. He got assassinated. Austro-Hungary was furious about all this, and decided to hold the neighboring country of Serbia responsible. So they send them a list of impossible demands, and when Serbia refuses, they declare war, marking the start of the First World War. So, Austria-Hungary and Germany were friends. Serbia was protected by Russia, who was friends with France, so they all declared war on each other. Germany really wanted to beat up France, but France had some crazy fortifications around the border, so they decided to attack through Belgium. Luckily, the UK is friends with Belgium, so they decide to hop in the war and send troops to help stop the Germans, which is great news for Belgium, but terrible news for Germany. Now in the Eastern Front, Russia sees some military success in the south, and in response, Germany launches a counterattack and goes deep into Russian territory. Now, let's look at another great country, the Ottoman Empire, who decided amongst themselves to not intervene in the war. Oh, wait, one of their ships just bombarded Russia, so now they're in the war, I guess. Ah yes, the Sunrise Kingdom. Germany owned a bunch of small islands, and Japan wanted them, so they figured the best way to get them was to just join the war and take them, which is exactly what they did. Things are looking bad for Russia, so bad that a boy band with revolutionary ideas, inspired by this guy, started an uprising in Petrograd. This led to a full-scale revolution, and resulting in Lenin pulling Russia out of the war. Life in the trenches was horrible. Millions of soldiers forced to live in horrible conditions, as the enemy bombed the opposing trench for sometimes days at a time, leaving many shell-shocked. And on Christmas Eve of 1914, there was an unofficial ceasefire, where both French, English, and German alike came out of the trenches, shared resources, played football, and just had a nice Christmas Eve. No, but actually, things are looking terrible for the French, and the Germans are starting another offensive, so before long, France will be crushed by Germany. Wait, what's that over there, on the other side of the Atlantic? Ah yes, the United States, the land of the free, where even dogs enlist, so why can't you? Which is true actually, those dogs saved a bunch of lives. Anyway, fresh new American troops arrive in France, guns blazing, ready to take on the Germans, such as famed American hero Alvin York, who ran around the Argonne Forest and almost single-handedly captured 132 German prisoners. Anyway, with the help of the Americans, the Western forces managed to defeat Germany. Soon after, all the big leaders came together in Versailles to talk about a peace treaty, in which Germany didn't have much of a say. There were a few border changes, and Germany had to pay an enormous amount of money, which led to their own financial crisis. But nobody cared about that, mainly because Germany was being ridiculed by the Western forces. But who cares? It's not like they're gonna do anything about it.